love, everybody. Peace and love. Get my wig together. Hoping you all can hear me. Can you all hear me? Boy, boy, boy. No. Peace and love. Okay, good. All right. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, let me just start off by saying peace and love to everyone. Hope everyone is having a very productive and prodigious day. Pray that everyone is in preparation mode. Get in preparation mode so that you can be prepared and self-sustaining for what's to come, because it's coming. It's coming. I was on, I've been sharing a lot of different, TikTok videos and stuff on my Instagram and Facebook stories. And it's amazing because people are sharing some very insightful clips of, different things, movies, stuff like that. And, like I was saying yesterday, they're going to tell you what it is that they're doing. They're definitely going to tell you what they have in store. Somebody said something about like the laws of the universe or something like that. I don't know the reason why they have to tell you, but I know that they have to tell you, whether we look at it as entertainment or not. They definitely have to tell you. But anyway, we want to be making the necessary preparations that we can with what we have. So I'm hoping that turn this fan down a little bit. It's kind of loud. Yeah, it's cold out here. Man, I just left Gastonia, and the house where I was at, the floors was extremely cold, and my feet, like I had on a good decent pair of socks, but it's like I'm kitchen and I'm standing, with my feet on the floor, and the cold is just going right through the socks to the sole of my feet, so my feet is still cold. So I got in the car and I turned the heat up, but I put, how you could put it on your legs where where it's on your feet, so I can get that heat, boy, because my feet is still cold. I can't understand this. My feet are making, the necessary preparations with whatever you have. Like, I remember when everything broke out in 2020, right? And I remember going to the local Restaurant Depot, because I've had an account with Restaurant Depot for a very, very, very long time. Restaurant Depot, like the chef store, the USDA chef store. I don't know if you all have those in your areas, but basically stores where you're able to purchase things in bulk. Those are the types of stores you want to be hitting up right now, because it's more cost effective for you to, now at this point, it's more cost effective for you to start buying things in bulk. And so, back in 2020, when, COVID broke out, my mind immediately went there. Like, oh, let me go get some stuff in bulk, because we don't know how long this thing is going to last. That was my mindset. We don't know how long it's going to last, and we need to be able to have food. So, when this is where the individuals that know how to cook from scratch, this is where y'all expertise are going to come in, right? Because when you go to these bulk stores, there are certain staples that you can buy in bulk where you will at least peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Certain staples that you can buy in bulk where you can at least cook your, you can make your staple foods, like your, you can buy your staple items like your flour and your sugars and your seasonings and stuff like that. So even if you don't have access to meat, or you don't have access to like boxed food or processed food, you can still get in there on the burner and you can make some, some fritters, or you can make some, make some bread or whatever it is that you need to do, because you're going to need sustenance. So now is the time for you to go out and get what you can get in bulk where you are. Rice, flour, that's the type of stuff you want to have, because if you can't get access to other stuff, you can at least make something from scratch. You can make dumplings, that sort of thing, and that is what can help sustain you. Definitely the rice, though. The rice is definitely one of those things that you want to get, because you can prep those things. You can actually buy like those bags where you can shrink wrap it, or you can seal it up. Beans, not beans. Yeah. So like with the potatoes, I'm thinking about right now, I'm thinking about dry foods, right? So like dry foods that that has a pretty decent shelf life. You get what I'm saying? Because the thing about potatoes, if you buy those in bulk, at some point they're gonna go bad, unless you're, planting the vines that come off of the potatoes. A lot of the stuff that you buy right now, like, just think about it. If you have a bag of potatoes and you keep them in there for so long, they're gonna start to grow a vine. So you can actually take that and get a plant going. You can take that and get a plant going. Certain things in your kitchen right now that you have had that you usually would throw away, like peels from potatoes that you cut open, or like banana peels and stuff like that you would usually throw away. Think of a way that you can use that for compost, especially if you have to start growing your own food. You want to start thinking about some of these things. You can go to the Restaurant Depot. You can get bulk. You want to start buying in bulk, so you can get the bulk garbage bags. I'm just saying, just whatever it is that you usually buy from the grocery store, think about buying it in bulk. Set money aside to begin to buy these things in bulk. And get yourself set up in a way where you can separate the foods in different baggies, or just prep it. Just like how you see this stuff is packaged up in the grocery store. It's the same way that you can package it up at home, especially with the dry foods, because the dry foods will last longer. Dry foods will definitely last longer. This is the mindset. This is the mindset that we want to begin to have. This is the mindset that we want to begin to have. We want to start buying things in bulk, because let me tell you, all you got to do is rewind back 3 years, and you saw what happened. You saw what happened with these grocery stores, right? There's some things that were just out of stock. Some things were just out of stock that you just could not get. Certain things you just could not get. We want to begin to brush up on whatever trades we have. If you know people in your family that know how to work with their hands, if you have sons and daughters, because it's not a gender biased thing, but you're going to need people in your family that can work well with their hands, right? They can work well with their hands. You want people that are smart, that can troubleshoot things, like if there is an issue, if something breaks, because you may not be able to call a handyman. You get what I'm saying? This is what we have to start thinking about in terms of being self-sufficient. What is it that you can handle on your own, or somebody can they handle it on their own, right? I know a lot of people live in apartments. You got to figure out a way to get your plants going in your apartments. You just got to try to figure that thing out, got to figure it out, y'all. Just figure it out. Whatever it is that you have to do. If you got to start growing them, like, you know, create a designated place in the kitchen or wherever it's going to be. Clear some space out. A lot of us have a lot of unnecessary things around the house that we don't use. Some things that we can sell, because you want your load to be light. You don't want to, if you have to leave, you don't want to have to worry about, oh, let me grab this, grab that. A lot of the stuff we can start beginning to get rid of now. All right, clothes, old shoes that you know you're not going to wear no more. Start getting rid of some of that stuff now. You know, so that we can just deal with it now, so that we won't have to deal with it later. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You want to deal with it now so that you don't want to have to deal with it later, because if you have to leave your house or leave your apartment, that's just something that in the back of your mind you're going to be like, man, I got to leave this because I can't take it with me. Now is the time to liquidate certain stuff. Okay, if you know you ain't gonna use something, don't let it sit around. Get rid of it, sell it, and then take that money to do what you got to do in terms of getting yourself set up. Hear me, y'all. I'm telling, and we don't have a lot of time. I'm telling y'all, we don't have a lot of time. And I made a post earlier today. No, I think it was yesterday on Facebook, and I'm like, you know, because it gets to a certain point where it don't matter what you say to people, they not gonna do it. A lot of people are not going to do it because they don't see it right now. They can't physically, they can't see what is going, they can't see what's going on, and they don't know how to identify the signs of the times. They can't identify the signs of the times. And so when somebody like me come along, they're looking at me like, girl, what you talking about? They not hearing me. They don't hear us. They don't hear us. You know, and it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be really sad. You know, I was emotional earlier today just thinking about it, because it can be very overwhelming. But at the same time, I'm empowered because I thank the Most High every single day for keeping me in the know, for sending people to me that are on the same page, and we've been studying these prophecies together and looking at all of these different things together and trying to you know, put our minds together and devise a plan in terms of what this is going to look like for us. And the thing of the matter is you don't want to wait. You know, by the time March and April come along, you're already going to be behind. You got to start preparing now. You got to start preparing now. I shared a book on my, let's see where am I at? I shared a book, one of the videos that I did on YouTube a few weeks ago, I think a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember. The name of the book was called How to Survive the World as You Know It. That's one of the books that's on my reading list, because things are definitely going to change, and we have to begin to mentally prepare. If you're mental, if you are not mentally prepared, and if you are not spiritually in tune, it's going to be very difficult for you to do anything, because you're going to shut down mentally when things begin to happen, and then you won't understand. If you're not spiritually in tune, you won't understand what you're looking at. You will not understand what you're looking at. You know, you're just going to be looking at it like it's another conflict. Okay, what has the U.S. gotten themselves into now? I'm telling y'all, listen to what I'm trying to say to you. I need y'all to really hear me, because a lot of people, they not hearing me, especially family. They not hearing me. And the thing of the matter is, people are so easy to dismiss things, but they're not doing their own research and studying. They're just dismissing it, and they going off and living their life like ain't nothing going on. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. And so it's my job to let you all know what is coming, without trying to scare you to death, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I have an assignment. I have to let y'all know what is going on. When I do the Thursday night calls, I'm telling y'all what the timeline is on the call. I'll send people the paperwork for them to study for themselves, but people get wrapped up in their own life, and that life is going to drastically change. It'll be this year. Things are going to change. It's going to change. It's going to change, y'all. I'm telling y'all. If you have the money, if you have the money right now, you know, you should be looking at what your transportation is going to look like in terms of your living space, because you may have to go and buy an RV. Because I'm telling y'all, you're not going to want to be in the city. You're not going to want to be in the city. If you have family members that have land, time to tap in with those family members to see if you can get your space, because you're going to need time to cultivate that land and to affix certain things to the land that you're going to need in order to survive. You got to deal with your heating system, your sewage system. You got to deal with your greenhouse. You know, there's a lot of moving parts to living off grid, and there's going to be a lot of things that you may not think about, you know, in terms of living outside of the city. And so the system has gotten us so dependent. We just dependent on the system, and they did that by design because they can control you with the food and the money, right? And it's like we fell right into their hands. You know, all these little cartoons that used to be out. Remember Pinky and the Brain? Who remember Pinky and the Brain? I used to watch that cartoon back in the day. Every single time he woke up every day, Pinky would ask him, "What's on the agenda for today, Brain?" Every time he would be like, "My plan of world domination." Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Pinky and the Brain? He would say it every single time. And this is what these people think about every single day. How can they control the world? They control the world with the money and the food. Money, food, and water. That's it, for the most part. And religion. I'm telling y'all, we gotta start. So I came on so that I can just, you know, talk about that for a little bit, and get you all's minds to get your juices flowing, so that you can begin to devise a plan. Write that plan down on paper. Get your list of shopping supplies, whatever it is that you need, and y'all got to get to work. I'm telling y'all, get to work and start planning. Start planning. You know, for those of you that are working on your credit, get that credit score up, get you some cash cards, liquidate. That's my message for 2023. Liquidate. Whatever you can, liquidate. You're going to have to. Monetary system is changing. Things are going to change, and it's going to be like a time that we have never seen before. It's going to be like a time that we have never seen before. That's what the prophecies say. Time like you have never seen before. It's like no other time in history. It's like no other time in history. Wait, where am I at? Did I miss one? Yeah, it's like no other time in history, y'all. So if y'all are working on your credit, do it expeditiously so you can get your scores up and you can get the cars that you need. Those of you that are doing the business credit thing, same thing. Get your credit score up, get your FICO score up, and then go and create those entities and apply for credit on your business. Because you're gonna need the liquid capital. You're gonna need it. You won't be able to do what's needed. You won't be able to do what's necessary with just one stream of income. It's not, because you're still trying to pay bills. If you're only making a certain amount of money every month, just that's your income is not going to work, because you still got to make sure that you have a place to stay and that your car don't get repossessed while you're trying to plan. Just y'all, you need another source of income. So those creative individuals out there, those people that have a talent or a niche, you know, and it's in order for you to be things that you've never done before, and strategize around what you can do to get cash money in your. I've been on Facebook and I'm looking at people post, and a lot of people, they just ain't got no clue. They have no clue as to what's about to happen, and it's just so sad. And the reason why I be so irritated with the church is because the masses of the people are already gathering in the church, but the messaging isn't there. So people are not even being given a fighting chance to do anything because the message is not there. Nobody is talking about this in the church. They're not talking about it. It's like, why are they not talking about it? You know, now's the time, you know, to fast, so that you can get your body conditioned to be without food. Not only that, you know, you want to get as close to the Most High as possible, and you do that by fasting and prayer. But keeps texting me. You want to be able to hear his voice. I would not be spending no money on fast food right now. A lot of the restaurants have gone down. These restaurants, they garbage these days. A lot of the restaurants have gone down. They went down. It's not like it used to be. It's like they don't even put any effort in anymore. You know, that food that you're spending out at the restaurant, I'd be cooking at home. I would definitely be cooking at home. It's time to organize, y'all. It really is time to organize. Because that me attitude, you're going to be caught out here by yourself with that selfish stuff. It's not going to work. You need other people to survive. You won't be able to do it by yourself. You just won't. You will not be able to do it by yourself. You just won't, because you're going to need individuals with different mindsets to give you a full spectrum to put into the model that you're trying to create to survive. You're going to need people with different areas of expertise. Somebody could do this, somebody could do that. You know, you're going to need people that are handy, quick thinkers, critical thinkers around you. You're going to need critical thinkers around you. You know. Oh, yeah, I got a headache. Definitely got a headache. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot to think about. You know, and I could easily just go away and and then y'all be like, what happened to Tamara? Remember that girl Tamara that used to be on YouTube? And just focus on getting my own stuff together. But that's not my assignment. It's not my assignment. It's not my assignment. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm especially speaking to the melanated people on this live that are in the United States. I need for y'all to really know and understand who you are. You gotta know who you are. You have to know who you are. The reason why I say that is because the melanated people in the United States, we have been tasked with something very important that needs to happen. And I need for y'all to understand that you are a special kind of people. You are a special people. So certain things that apply to others do not apply to you. Certain things that apply to you do not apply to others. You are a special people. There are certain leadership qualities that exist in you, don't exist in any other people. And so this is why the world is sort of molded by the cultures that we create and the standard that we create. The world looks at that. So you have to know who you are. You got to know who you are and where you come from and who you're connected to. You understand what I'm saying? I need y'all to really hear me. You know, because the world is looking for you to stand up. Like, seriously, the world is looking for you to stand up. And so we got to get our mind right. We got to get spiritually connected. We have to. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We got to get spiritually connected. I could say a lot more on that regard, but just got to know who you are. You are a special kind of people. I'm telling y'all. But it's just time for us to get things in order. Yep, so work on your credit, get access to those cash cards. You're definitely going to want to be in this training that's coming up on Saturday, the first part of the private banking series, because by the time we finish in March, you are going to know how to tap into some of the monies on the private side. And get over. You're going to be dealing with the accounting aspect of things. I'm getting off right here. Going to be dealing with the accounting. And it'll be helpful. It'll be helpful for you to be able to do that. See, now I'm too hot. That's the thing with me. It's like I be hot and then I be cold. Yeah. Excuse me. I'll say all that to say it's time for us to get moving. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm driving, so I can't see the chat, but peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Yeah, the pandemic was definitely a test run. It was a test run. You're right, and the churches, they've lost their opportunity a long time ago to spread the correct message to the people. And so it's like, if you try to go and approach them now, they just worried about their money. Oh, you're gonna mess my money up. I'm not saying all churches are like that, but and I know and understand that there's a lot of pastors that really don't know the truth because they are not really studying the Bible. I mean, you know, and I'm really talking about where you really dig into a topic, right? You know, and the information is undisputable. You know, precept upon precept, you know, here a little, there a little. You know, a lot of people, they don't study the Bible like that. You know, they might read a Bible verse and be like, oh, okay, I'm good. But anyway, it's just a lot more work that, where am I at, that has to be done, that's just not being done. And a lot of these pastors, they're just, you know, they're in their own world. And then the thing is that they don't even recognize the Sabbath. Like, that's in the Bible. How could you call yourself a believer but you don't acknowledge the Sabbath? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's where you honor the Most High. How are you not acknowledging the Sabbath? Like, even if you think that it's every Saturday, at least that's something. If you think it's every Saturday, but it's not every Saturday, it goes based on the new moon. Even if you think it's every Saturday, that's a start. But you got most people, the majority of the people that follows the model set forth by the Roman Catholic Church, they worship on Sunday. And the majority of the churches out here still worship on Sunday. That's not our worship day. I'm just saying. Listen, as I talk in these videos, I'm just gonna be I'm trying to ease y'all into these conversations because I know that this is not my usual content on this channel. But like I said, I have an assignment. So, you know, a lot of the conversations and stuff that I have, it ain't gonna be what y'all used to seeing. So, you know, I'm letting y'all know right now that you can stay on the channel or you can scroll past. Like, seriously. And I'm not talking about y'all, because I know I love y'all. I'm talking about them other folks, you know, the ones that like to come and cause trouble. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that like to come and cause trouble. Let's see if I can get over here. So, no, where am I at? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do either. Come on. Not my turn. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, so you'll see as I get more and more deeper into these topics, I'll just share more, a little bit at a time. It'll be a little bit more, because it's necessary. You know, you have some individuals that they focused on their content and that's all they're gonna share. You ain't really gonna get too much more out of them. I'm not like that, because I have an assignment. All right, while I'm sitting at this light, let me see what y'all got up in here. Let's see. And at the court system so corrupt, I went to court today for a debt collection company. You know, if I only operated my business from now on, we still be able to collect the debt. A debt is a debt, especially if it depends on if you use your social security number to apply, but it still ties back to your social, even if you use the EIN number. Yeah, they keeping their mouth shut. Hey, y'all. Yep, where there is unity, there is strength. For sure, for sure. Where there's unity, there's strength. So you want to partner with people that are like-minded. That's where you find your strength, because a lot of your blood relatives, they sleep. They ain't gonna wake up. They ain't never gonna wake up until it's too late. Well, they really not gonna wake up. They just gonna be desperate, and they're gonna be looking for you because you may have said something to them last year that they ignored, and now they're looking for you because all this stuff is happening, and they want to see what you doing or where you at, what you got going on. It's gonna be too late. It's really gonna be too late. You know, I'll be looking at people and I'm like, and then people try to pull me in all these different directions, right? Like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. And I just be looking at them like, child, 6 months from now, you ain't gonna, you making all these plans for nothing. I'm not saying don't live your life, but you gotta live your life with the end in mind, because things are going to drastically change. You know, they will change. Things will change. They will change, y'all. I'm not trying to depress y'all. I'm just giving it to y'all. You know, because it's truth. Y'all gonna look back on this video like, man, Tamara was right. I'm telling you, it's coming. I ain't the only one talking about the end times here. I'm not the only one on the internet talking about end time prophecies. I'm not the only one. Y'all can start looking that stuff up. Y'all can look it up, look it up, look it up. Start searching for things. Start, you know, searching for certain key terms on the internet. End time prophecies. Start looking for that type of language. Dig into it, so at least you will know and you can begin to get prepared. Because the only way you're going to get prepared is if you know. That's the only way. That's the only way, y'all. You have to know. You have to actually know. You know, you gotta know. You know, start getting some of the things that you need for your babies. Start stacking up on formula. Whatever you need. I don't know, y'all. Just start getting stuff. Start getting it in bulk if you can. You're gonna need it. You are going to need it. That's the best way that I can put it. You don't need it. You know. And if you're in the process right now, finish it out. Go ahead and move forward. You know, some people that are doing an administrative process right now, you know, just look and see what the next step is that you have to do. Oh, doggone it, I should have turned. Oh, man, I hate coming up to this light. This traffic be so backed up at this light. Oh, my goodness. And dang it, I knew I should have turned down. I should have turned. I should have turned. This light is always backed up like this. And I looked at the time before I came up here thinking, okay, it's 4:20, going on 4:20, that the traffic would have been a little bit better leading up to this light, but it's not. And now I'm too far up, but I can't go and make a U-turn. It's always like this on this street. But yeah, so I'm not the only one talking about end time prophecies online. There's a lot of individuals out here that's talking about it, and the individuals that's not talking about it, that mean they don't know. They either know or they keeping it to themselves, because the majority of the conscious community should know what is going on and what's about to happen. They should know what's going on and what's about to happen. They should know. So I'm thinking about starting a weekly call to talk about you know, going into the spiritual stuff. I don't know, we'll see. If I do it, the only way I could do it is if I get my mom on board to do it. Y'all, when I tell you my mom is a beast, oof, that woman right there, goodness. She can run it down. When I tell you she can run it down, she can run it down. I'll be trying to get her to, she don't really be trying to mess with me coming on camera. You know, I've been trying to get that lady to do a video with me. She won't do it. But if I can get her to agree to do these weekly calls with me, then I would do the weekly spiritual call. I would do the call, and it would be a free call. I wouldn't charge anything for it, but I will only be talking about spiritual stuff. Like, I wouldn't be going into none of these processes and none of that stuff. It would just strictly be spiritual. You know, we get on the phone, we pray together, we talk about what's going on, and then that will be it. So I'm gonna bring it up to her again because I did mention it to her. Let's see what she say. My mom is a very, very well-educated, well-rounded. She's a very smart woman. Very, very smart woman. She's the smartest woman I know. She really is. She could hold a conversation. Oof. When you start talking about scripture, spirituality, all that stuff, she could hold it down. You know, and she's very well studied, very well studied. She started studying back when I was 13, 14 years old. It's been a very long time. It's been a very long time. You know, and a lot of this stuff she was telling me back when I was a teenager. She already knew what was going to happen because they were talking about it back then. You know, and she's run in some of those circles of those PhDs that was coming out of New York. You know, like Dr. Ben, Carson. Like, she could drop some names. She could drop some serious names of some of the people that she's met in person over the years. Running in those circles in New York City, between Buffalo and New York City. She could definitely drop some names. And I didn't mean to say Dr. Ben. I meant to say Dr. Boris Shango. I know who Dr. Ben Carson is. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a lot of these PhDs that took the time to do the research on our history. She used to run with them and go to their meetings and attend their lectures. You know, she got a lot of information, a lot of books, a lot of our history. A lot of our history in terms of melanated folks. That's what I'm talking about. She got a lot of information. She know them scriptures too, boy. She know. Ooh, she know. So if I can get her agree to do this call with me, then I would do it. If she don't want to do it, then I'm not gonna do it. I need her on there because she can run it down. She could definitely run it down. So we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much all I wanted. I didn't really have anything else to talk about. I just wanted to hop on here because I felt the need to hop on to let you all know, to start getting prepared. Just start getting prepared. Do what you can. Just do what you can. All right, y'all. I'm about to pull up to this thing up here, and I know I'm gonna need to hang up. Shalom. All right, I will see you all in the next video. Peace and love. I love y'all.